Shares of Boeing are under pressure, having its worst day in more than 2.5 years, losing almost 7% Friday. As we said, Credit Suisse and UBS both cut the stock to neutral from buy today. Boeing remains under scrutiny following the revelations of those emails from 2016, which called into question the safety of the 737 MAX jet's flight control system. The board met over the weekend, expressed regret over the message, continuing to investigate. Dennis Muhlenberg is scheduled to testify at House Transportation next week. Reuters suggests that this board meeting in Texas may consider things like job cuts and some other kinds of trimmings to spending. But worst day, Jim, on Friday than any day since the MAX was an issue to begin with.
Well, I think that's because Wall Street thinks that Muhlenberg bagged them. The narrative had been, to be very specific about this, the narrative had been that the reason why they did not have a chance to defend themselves was because the government wouldn't let them. And if the government would not hamstring them, we would find out the truth, which is that Boeing had very little to do with this, and that the FAA, a little more emphasis on them, and that Boeing wasn't pressured. Boeing did everything right. And when the truth came out and the emails came out and everything came out, we would feel that way. Well, there we go. It all came out. And I was wondering, why did they fight this? Why didn't they break this so early? And I think this is what Wall Street felt. And the answer is because sometimes you just get had, Carl. Wall Street got had. And so this is what happens when Wall Street got had. They come out hard against because they felt like I did, that when you see all the emails, you're going to see it was all about safety. Well, it was the wrong way.
I'm confused. You're saying the pilots in these messages?
No, I'm saying that it turns out that when we looked at the internal messages, there were people who were very concerned. That there were people who felt, you know what, this is being, that we're not doing this right. There was that very critical message, of which the New York Times said the guy said he lied. He didn't. What the message really was like, now that I know the truth, I guess I lied. You know, you could have said, I guess I was ill-informed. Yep. But this is the reason why Wall Street is so negative has much to do with once we found out the truth and Boeing wasn't hamstrung, we would know that Boeing was a good actor. And I think that Wall Street's stunned because it turns out that you could argue with this, but that Boeing wasn't a good actor once we saw the emails. So the idea was once Boeing's free to tell its story was a good one. That, I think, is no longer true. Mm-hmm. I think that once Boeing was free to tell the story, it turns out the story wasn't that good.
So is any of this penalty because of are they predicting a even further delay to return to service?
Well, I think it's really important that Boeing take action which distinguishes, listen, all that's in the past. Remember, you know what's really interesting? We have not heard a word about how they've got triple redundancy. We've not had a word about how the plane is safer than ever. We not have a word that, or maybe that the pilots should do simulation, but the plane is better than ever. Now we're trapped into what the heck happened beforehand. It's so important for Boeing to get ahead of the story. Boeing has been behind in this story from day one. Now's the time to say, you know what, we made mistakes. The new plane is good. We're ready to ride it. You can decide that we may have done everything wrong beforehand, but the new plane is safe, and the focus should be on the new plane. But no, now the focus is on the old situation. Well, that is really incredible.
We're going to get Southwest on Thursday. American also reports this week. It matters what they think, too.
Yeah, well, I think, look, Gary Kelly has distinguished himself from day one as someone who came right here and said, you know what, I'm going to take it up privately with Boeing. By the way, Boeing is a great American company being run badly. There's a great American company that has some faults about the way things were done ahead of this. They can no longer deny that. See, this is one of those things where if you're sitting back and you're saying objectively, I believe in Boeing no matter what, like me, like I did, I was wrong. I believe no matter what. But I got that wrong. By the way, all the analysts are in the same boat that I was.
When it comes down to their ability to service a market that is still growing, certainly in certain areas, and the fact that there is a duopoly, and that their chief competitor probably can't make any more planes than they already have committed to deliver, will any of this matter?
Well, that's right now, Boeing is so ill-advised in their strategy. Boeing has the chance right now to be able to say, this is what Molenberg should say right now, which is that, okay, look, we screwed up. But then obviously there's liability, and they don't want to say that. But that's, again, classic stupidity. You always have to say, we screwed up. That's the whole lesson of America, the whole lesson of the way America treats you. You admit that you're wrong. You apologize. And then you say, we really have to focus on going forward. And going forward, our planes are the safest in the air. Why they can't do that, I don't know.
Well, maybe because the lawyers are.
Well, who gives a damn about the lawyers?
Well, the lawyers are in there
that's
saying,
great.
You're going to admit liability. You're going to open yourself up to this risk,
Okay.
that risk. That's typically when there is an inability to say something that we all think is obvious. It's because the lawyers are telling them not.
Well, yeah, if you want to run it by the lawyers, you might as well just shut down because you're never going to get
That's
over.
what a lot of companies do.
Well, it's stupid. We all know that.
Reticent. And correct use of the word, by the way, reluctant to speak, because lawyers tell them never to speak.
And so let's think about when the lawyers have been right. Exactly. Not. This is a great American company that's being run wrong or being run by lawyers, being run by people who are saying, listen, let's think about the past. Let's deal with the past. They should just show every single email and just be a great American company they are.
Well, then does the board have to do more than take away the chairmanship?
Well, it sounds like you want to see Molenberg go.
I don't really care. I've been had. So has every firm that downgraded it today. We all got the same damn memo, which was there is nothing in the emails. And when that comes out, you're going to say
it was messages. It was text.
Okay, text message. Let me
be specific.
Well, maybe it was Snapchat. Hey, maybe it was WeChat. Maybe it was Zuckerchat. All I can tell you is we've all been had. All those analysts are about being had. They all got the same memo. They did. You think I was any different? You think that my work produced anything different from Credit Suisse? Nah. Here, Bank of America, downgrade. UBS, downgrade. Credit Suisse. You know why this is? Because we all got told, don't worry. Don't worry. Now they have to. Boeing, listen to me. Not that you would, but you ought to. This is the time to make a clean break with the past, screw the lawyers, you got Feinberg in there, and tell people the truth, which is that your new plane is safer than anyone. But no, you've lost control of the narrative the day that the second crash occurred.